Oi oi everybody, and welcome to Geek Raider, a channel dedicated to unsavoury little runts and for a bit of fun, in today's video I thought we would take inspiration from John Strife Plays and ask ourselves the question, was it any good? Only this time, instead of focusing our attention on Tomb Raider 1, I thought we could take a big fat swan dive into the tranquil waters of Tomb Raider 2. To do this, I'm going to be covering 3 key areas and scoring them out of 10, with those areas being story, environments, and gameplay. Developed by Core Design, Tomb Raider 2 was released in 1997 for the PlayStation 1 and the PC. Within the game, you play as the not-so-pointy-breasted Lara Croft, who is about to go on a death-defying adventure for the Dildo of Xian, an artifact which, legend has it, possesses the power to turn its bearer into a
flag.
That is, however, only if the artifact has been carefully inserted in between the bum cheeks of he or she whom possesses it. Or something like that. Maybe I'm getting confused with another game. I don't know. Anyway, Lara wants that dagger, and it's up to you to help her find it before your arch nemesis Marco Bertoli snatches it from underneath your milk wagons.
No.
So, without further ado, let's get started. To start off, I thought we could take a look at story. Similar to its predecessor, the plot of Tomb Raider 2 has little bearing on the actual overall Tomb Raider experience here. I mean, despite being treated to some nifty little cutscenes where Lara gets her brains bashed in by Macho Man's long-lost twin,
Oh yeah!
the majority of the game mainly consists of navigating through areas to find a key which opens a door to another area where, you guessed it, you have to find another key. But hey, that's Tomb Raider, right? Simple, unapologetic fun. I mean, if you aren't searching for artifacts while simultaneously massacring endangered species and climbing up ridiculously long ladders, are you even Lara Croft? And while I have to admit that I do often enjoy the more complex storylines of video games like Metal Gear Solid and Death Stranding, there's just something about Tomb Raider 2's simplicity which I actually find quite comforting and refreshing still to this day. Probably as it allows the focus to be on exploration and puzzle solving, which are 2 things that I'm very fond of. Tomb Raider 2's story just feels like an authentic Tomb Raider experience, where the gameplay and exploration drive the story, rather than the other way round. So for these reasons, I'd have to score Tomb Raider 2's story at a solid 7 out of 10, which leads us nicely into the next part of this video, where we discuss environments.
Oh, yeah.
Tomb Raider 2 boasts an impressive 18 levels, 3 more than its predecessor. These levels span a wide range of exciting locations from Italy to Tibet to Minecraft on acid. And despite being built on the same engine as Tomb Raider 1, the environments here have been massively enhanced, with the most notable enhancement being the size of the actual levels themselves. I mean literally, Tomb Raider 2's levels are so big that they put King Kong's willy to shame. There's a reason many fans put Tomb Raider 2 as their favourite of the series, and I would very much argue that the levels have a big reason to do with it. Each area is filled with gorgeous lighting effects and exciting new level geometry. The levels in Tomb Raider 2 were far more geographically interesting than many other games at the time, which gave it a fresh new feeling and added greatly to the gameplay, and still does to this day. The levels in Tomb Raider 2 are exactly what you would expect from a sequel to such a huge hit. They're bigger, harder, juicier, and are guaranteed to provide you with
More satisfaction.
There are also many more water levels in Tomb Raider 2 compared to the previous game, which, although some might say detracts from the pleasure of the game, I find actually just makes the experience all the more moistening, with my all-time favourite level in the entire franchise being Barkang Monastery, of course. I mean, what can I say about this level that I haven't said before in my previous videos? Barkang Monastery epitomises perfect level design. From shooting your way through baddies to completing new new acrobatic challenges to narrowly avoiding getting your nipple sliced off by dangerous rolling blades. It's just pure perfection. Also, if you do like exploring, you're in luck with Tomb Raider 2, because like with many of the earlier games in this series, there are loads of secrets hidden in each stage. This time in the form of a silver, jade and golden dragon, so you can explore to your heart's content. And that is exactly what I like to do. I'm a curious little bean, you see. So for these reasons, I have no choice but to score Tomb Raider 2's level a groovy 9.5 out of 10. And yes, I just used the word groovy, baby.
Ding dong.
And now on to the final and arguably one of the most important aspects of any video game. We're talking gameplay. And I'm going to start off by saying that if you're a first-time player, Tomb Raider 2 is harder than selling a vacuum in space. Heck, even if you're an experienced Tomb Raider veteran, this game throws more punches than Mike Tyson on speed. And depending on how you like your games, this could either be a good thing, or it could be a bad thing. I mean, seriously, this game is no walk in the park. More like a full-force sprint, butt naked through broken glass and venomous spider pits, all while narrowly avoiding the orgy of big veiny muscle dudes that are sprinkled throughout each level. Tomb Raider 2 is one of those games where your save button really is your best friend. Although gone are the need for save crystals, which I gotta say is a huge relief. Adding to the difficulty is this game's love for timed puzzles, something that occurs in this game time and time again. Naturally, there are also a heap of additional puzzles to be completed, so the time puzzles doesn't feel too repetitive. I mean, they're a fun challenge then, and they're still a fun challenge now. Although going back 20 years ago to my first time playing Tomb Raider 2, I must say I can remember that there were moments that had me stumped for hours, if not days, especially 40 effing fathoms. I mean, I can literally remember thinking that the game was broken because I just kept drowning without anywhere to go. Who would have thought you had to follow those poxy barrels at the bottom of the sea? But hey, that's what makes this game so groovy, baby. You have to use your brain. Speaking of groovy, Tomb Raider 2's soundtrack is extremely well done and reflects Nathan McQuee's hard work and dedication. I mean, can you believe that the soundtrack allegedly only took 3 months to make? Now that's talent right there. The sound effects of this game are also great and have aged well even by today's standards. And on the other hand, sometimes the lack of music creates an equally as immersive atmosphere as you carefully tread waiting to be ambushed by baddies. All in all, the music has had a really nice makeover since the first game and creates some absolute bangers in the process. Speaking of makeovers, Lara's model is also greatly enhanced, this time rounding her triangular bosoms and including her iconic ponytail that sometimes seems to just defy gravity. Judith Gibbons provided the voice of Lara, delivering a more feisty, no-nonsense attitude compared to before, as she was given more freedom over the role this time. And to support Lara's feistiness, the game puts more emphasis on fighting human enemies with a range of new weapons including a harpoon gun, a grenade launcher, an M16 rifle and automatic pistols, which have replaced the magnums from the first game. So with all of this in mind, I have to score Tomb Raider 2's gameplay a solid 8.5 out of 10. Tomb Raider 2 ranks among fans as one of, if not the best Tomb Raider game of all time, and personally, I think I have to agree. And I think this is down to variety more than anything. From the huge variety of enemies to the range of tricky platforming challenges, Tomb Raider 2 challenges the players in fresh and exciting ways. The puzzles were, and still are, some of the best in any Tomb Raider game to date, as they rely on reading the environment rather than just picking up a walkthrough to figure out what to do. Then there's the soundtrack, and let's just say one word: violins. Tomb Raider 2 is a great game, probably the best of core designs, and for that reason my overall score for Tomb Raider 2 stands at 25 out of 30. So to go back to the question, was it any good?
Give me a hell yeah! What?
And just like that, this video comes to an end. I'd like to thank everybody for joining me in this video as we explore the greatest video game franchise of all time. I'd absolutely love to know if you agree or disagree with my score in the comments. Feel free to subscribe, or hey, don't. It's no skin off my nipples. And I got big nipples, by the way. So thanks again, and with that image fresh in your mind, I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Peace!